Another year draws to a close, and it's time to look back at what Indian cricket did in 2023, what lies ahead in 2024. You tend to look at the big results, don't you, when you're looking back at the year? And I think any assessment will be dominated by what India did not do as opposed to what India did. So let's look at what India did briefly. How often do you have teams that end the year ranked number one in Test match cricket, in one-day international cricket, and in T20 cricket? And India did that at the end of 2023, which was a wonderful achievement. I actually thought Indian cricket had a great year in 2023. But as I said, you remember what happened at the last hurdle in a prestigious tournament. And there were two this year. One was, of course, the World Test Championship that was in June. I'll talk about that. But the biggest pain point was the World Cup of 2023, where India fell short. I will say this in spite of the result. India had one bad day. For the rest of the World Cup, India was dominating everybody. Yes, you can turn around and say, but we've been seeing this since 2013. Did India go too conservative? You saw that in the 2022 T20 World Cup as well. You saw that at a key moment in 2023. For that little period, India went a little conservative. But overall, India were head and shoulders above anybody else as a one-day international team in 2023, to the extent that if you had to pick a team of the year for 2023 across everybody who played it, then other than number 4, and sorry Shreyas, there were a lot of contenders at number 4, but you did pretty well too, and number 6, where Surya Kumar Yadav couldn't really establish himself, you could actually pick the Indian team and form a strong case for each of them being the best in that position. That's how good India were in 2023. Now, they've got to take the final hurdle, can they? Some very good players are getting older, but yeah, there was pain from that point of view in 2023, and yeah, it hurt all of us. I wasn't that upset, I must admit, about the World Test Championship, because the manner in which it is scheduled at the moment, it is very, very difficult for India to win the World Test Championship, because the IPL is very important. It's important to world cricket. The IPL ends last week of May, sometimes creeps into June. The World Test Championship final is played in June in England. India hardly ever get any time to move from the IPL and play the World Test Championship final. And I mean, I'll let you know, between a lot of us who cover the game, I don't think people take the World Test Championship as seriously as a lot of other people believe. So irrespective of that, I'm not as fussed about India losing the World Test Championship final, because there's too many odds to overcome for India to get there. So yes, pain about the World Cup final, not as much about the World Test Championship. What about the individual players in 2023? What a year it was for Shubman Gill. Ultimate breakout year. He scored 890 runs in the IPL. He made 1500 runs in ODI cricket. He got a double hundred. He got hundreds in all formats. Absolutely sensational breakout year for Shubman Gill in 2023. He was one of the highlights of the year, without a shadow of doubt. Now, he will learn to live with expectations as 2024 beckons, and as he earns a lot more, and as he becomes a lot more popular, my only wish for Shubman Gill is that he carries his wealth, he carries his fame as lightly as possible. It's not easy, because we put our stars on a pedestal, but the lighter he carries his fame, the better I think he will play in 2024. It's not a correlation, it's just a personal point of view. But what a year for Shubman Gill. Absolute breakout year. He was fantastic. I loved Rohit Sharma in 2023. I thought he brought a great freshness, a great flavor to the way India played one-day international cricket. He led from the front. He said, this is how I want to play. One of the issues in Indian cricket, and it comes from a lot of us as much as it comes from the players, is that we absolutely worship Indian individual landmarks, often to the detriment of what the team has ended up doing. And I think Rohit Sharma was telling everyone, forget the individual landmarks. Let's go out and play in a certain manner. And he led the way and said, I will play the way I want everybody else to play. And I thought what India did at that World Cup was sensational. I've said it before in the review as well. I thought this was the best one-day cricket that I have seen India play. Overjoyed too that after a couple of indifferent years, Virat Kohli came storming back. He had a fabulous World Cup. He averaged 50 in Test match cricket. but his enthusiasm for the game, his energy for the game. I once said that if you used Virat Kohli's energy to light up a city, you'll never have a power cut, and he's still playing with the same intensity and the same fitness. That is critical as he gets older. He's playing with the same level of fitness, and he's starting to score runs again. I loved watching Virat Kohli in 2023. There was also a comeback for Kuldeep Yadav. He went through some difficult years, but he came back and he bowled in style. I think he's also ready to start playing test match cricket. But he had to become a different bowler, which is not easy. He had to add 7-8 kilometers to his speed, which meant his rhythm was going to be different. It took a little bit of time, but he was sensational at the World Cup. So the return of Kuldeep Yadav was a highlight. The return of Shreyas Iyer meant a lot. The return of Jasprit Bumrah was fabulous. It was a breakout year for one other young player. Only played a couple of test matches still, but I love the way he played there. Came out and played, had very good IPL, played very good T20 cricket for India, and I'm very excited about Yashasvi Jaiswal. And there's one aspect of his cricket that I particularly enjoy. It's a little point. One of the T20 internationals, he's got to 50 inside the power play, and he's still out going for the big shot. And I think that is, to me, symbolizes what T20 cricket is all about. I've got my 50. I'm not playing for a landmark. I'm just playing for as many runs as I can score as quickly as possible to put my side in winning positions. And I hope that attitude remains always for young Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's got a few challenges coming up, but he looks the part as of now. Cricket always challenges you, so I wish Yashasvi Jaiswal well in 2024. There were a few other players. How good was Mohammad Siraj? I've used the word beast in the power play for Siraj before, and I think he just got better and better. He bowled really well in test match cricket, so good year for Siraj. Jadeja still the number one ranked all-rounder in the game. Another very good year for him in the chances that he got. Ravichandran Ashwin picked up 40 wickets, answered the call of the side when they needed him only in specific situations. It tells a little bit about Ravichandran Ashwin that he's prepared to be a backup player at this stage in his career. You need such egoless players in your side, and I love that about Ravichandran Ashwin. So lots of people having very good years. What about Rahul Dravid? We were always wondering whether he could convert his extraordinary developmental skills in under-19 and India A cricket to the national side. Dravid might give you the impression of being a defensive player, of being a certain kind of person. Make no mistake, when he was captain, India played 5 bowlers. India played some of their most aggressive cricket, chasing as well. Back, we're talking about 2005-06. As a coach, he was very clear about the kind of cricket he wanted India to play. I thought Rahul Dravid as coach was a big tick. How much longer is he going to be coach for India? We don't know, because at the moment it looks a little open-ended. Rahul Dravid is a family person, so I don't see him being there for very long. But the good news is that I think someone who's very similar to Rahul Dravid, again someone who carries himself very well, but is a very aggressive person at heart. VVS Lakshman is, I think, ready to take over that slot the moment Rahul Dravid thinks that he's had enough. So that was another big tick for me. The women's game was excellent. I was a little unsure when I went to do the WPL, and being the first year of the WPL, teams tended to structure their 11s around the 4 overseas players, and they dominated the WPL as you would imagine. But I'm expecting big things from WPL too. Then test match cricket. We see such little of test match cricket, but so many players. Jemima Rodrigues took to test match cricket like she was born to. Smriti Mandhana came back into form. Harmanpreet Kaur led very well. The spinners came back in. I love watching Sneha Rana. Deepti Sharma was very good. Pooja Vastrakar did very well in those 2 test matches. So many players came back. Renuka Singh Thakur again coming back to form, always providing India with breakthroughs. I thought the women's game was looking very, very good towards the end of the year, and I wish in 2024 that we start to show lots more emphasis on the women's game. I thought the WPL was a couple of years too late, but it's here now and we must celebrate it as it comes. But little more test match cricket, lots more coaches, one level below international cricket, and a lot more sympathy, maybe a lot more awareness because of the women's game, because they start very early, 15, 16, 17, those are impressionable years. So I hope we find the right people one level below international cricket to run women's cricket. But a big tick for the Indian women's team. There was pay parity as well. And I think you've got to congratulate the BCCI on that. And the other teams are now following suit. What I'd like to see now is bigger player contracts. They've shown their capability. They've shown they can attract crowds in the T20 game. Now I think we need to start looking at those contracts too. Social media in 2023. Why on earth am I talking about social media in a review of Indian cricket of 2023? It was the year where social media with respect to cricket became far more toxic. Leading newspapers became very flippant about the manner in which they were reporting cricket. There was a great clickbait became very powerful, and so there were headlines that were misleading. But I thought one of the downsides of Indian cricket was the extreme toxicity that we started to see on social media. And my plea, almost my message to a lot of people who support their players very powerfully and attack everyone who doesn't have a similar point of view is you make it very difficult. Follow and admire the players that you seem to follow. By almost being parochial, you make it very difficult for the players themselves. So I would appeal to a lot of people on social media. Indian cricket is in good hands. Follow Indian cricket closely, love Indian cricket, but this toxicity and this desire to be noticed as neither for you nor for Indian cricket. That was one of the downers of Indian cricket. And as I look ahead to 2024, I hope social media looks at it a little differently, because don't forget, these players are young and impressionable too. Not everyone has seen life, has gone into their 30s. There are younger players coming through. They look at what people are saying about them. They get affected by what people are saying about them. And I think we need to be a little more responsible on social media as well if we are genuine lovers of Indian cricket.